And welcome to what could be the final race of the NASCAR Busch Series season on NASCAR 08, as it is race 28 of 35 at the Richmond Raceway. But in tonight's race, we have a chance to clinch the championship, which would be the third time Martin Truex Jr. would win a NASCAR Busch Series championship in his NASCAR Busch Series career. Now, it is time to see if we can get it done. All we got to do is finish 15th or better in tonight's race, no matter where Dale Jr. finishes, and we will end up getting the win. Obviously, if he ends up winning the race today, which he does start on the pole, so he's going to be pretty quick, I'd imagine, then that means that we're going to have to be on not our A game, but at least a B to B plus game to get that 15th place run. I did win the first race at Richmond earlier this season. In that 250 lap race, I led just over 200 of 250 laps. 203, I believe, was the exact number as I'm looking back at it right now. Yeah, 203 laps led. So we should be pretty quick. I qualified third, so that's a good start. Let's get into this. Short track racing on a Wednesday night. We're going to try to get to the lead as quickly as we can. Green flag is in the air. We are underway and already off into the first turn, trying to get the lead. And we've got it. So we look to try to keep Dale Jr. behind us and not have him lead a lap. And Truex will lead lap 1 at Richmond. That literally was the best start I could have possibly had from third place. Went 3 wide for the lead into the first turn. I got a great launch. This baby's souped up. I was hitting my marks in practice. Super dialed in for qualifying. I didn't get the pole, but might as well have, because we ended up leading the first lap anyway. Dale Jr., who started on the pole, isn't even in second anymore. Kevin Conway's in second. Actually, Earnhardt's stuck on the outside. He's getting freight train right now. He's falling at least back to 4th, maybe 5th. And we're only on lap 3. Wade, Ethan, Michael, thanks for tuning in. I didn't watch any of the All-Star game last night. I watched the highlights earlier today, though. Ended up being a pretty solid game. American League came back from down 6-0. And I guess they had, I don't remember exactly what they call it, but it was basically a home run off. Miniature home run derby. Bam Hall, thanks for tuning in also. Matthew Dorter, Bruno, Wade, Michael Turner. I don't know if I shouted any of you guys out, but appreciate you tuning in. My brain's on absolutely fried mode right now because I literally just got done kicking my ass working out probably 15 minutes before this stream started. So I'm very sweaty. I'm in La La Land at this point. But I was still able to put together a good qualifying lap and obviously up to a good start in the race. I did, yeah. That's sad that I didn't remember what I said like 3 minutes beforehand. Did I eat? I grabbed something really small, snack-wise. I've not had a full meal since about noon earlier today. At lunch. I don't remember if this is a 1 or a 2 stop race. I think it's going to end up being 2 stops if I had to guess. Doubt we'll make it on 1. So if we do make it on 1, even easier for us. So I did not start the driver polls for NASCAR 08 yet today. Definitely going to make sure I do that tomorrow. I'm not in a situation where I have to rush to get that out because we still have 10 races left on the Cup Series. So we have 10 more NASCAR 08 streams, and we're not going to be doing NASCAR 08 every day because of the actual races on the weekend. So it's probably still going to be about a week and a half to 2 weeks before we get the custom schedule seasons going. $127. Well, I mean, mathematically, 125 would be the number. I get what you mean by 127 because that would put us even more safe to be able to make it on fuel. We are dominating right now. We've got a 2-second lead already. I don't pull away much on this game. But here today at Richmond we are. And this has been one of my better racetracks here in New Hampshire on a very consistent basis with these VA games. And here we are again, dominating. And sure enough, tomorrow is when we'll be racing at New Hampshire on NASCAR 08. To earn a championship with the driver and F-tier equipment. We'll see how that goes. But the good news is, with it being a playoff format, I only have to win one race in the regular season. As long as we don't have more than 16 winners, which we shouldn't. Especially with it only being really a 20-race regular season because it's a 30-race season overall. Absolutely kicking their tails right now. 20 laps in, a 3.2 second lead. No, I'm definitely not going to dial the difficulty down. What's the point of having an F-tier driver if I end up dropping the difficulty anyway? That's just going to make it out to basically be the same thing that we have now. No, I will always race on legend difficulty. I'm too good at these NASCAR games to not play on the hardest difficulty. Because I still do lose championships from time to time, but it wouldn't be as fun if I ended up winning the championship literally every single season we played at all times. Corey Freed, thanks for tuning in. First driver to 3 Busch Series championships, yep. Which even if for some reason I didn't end up breaking it in this race, there's no way I'm blowing this championship lead. Over 1,200 points. I wonder if we can go wire to wire in this race. I was able to do that for the first time on NASCAR 08 at New Hampshire last week with the Cup Series. So I might be able to do it with this Busch race here tonight. I've not led every lap of a Busch or a truck race yet on the season, but we definitely have the speed to do so today. Because if Dale Jr. ended up DNFing in the early going to this race, then I wouldn't even have to run to the end of the race either, because we've already clinched the title and everybody but him. In the event that that happens, I would exit this race, and I'll probably end up just starting the New Hampshire Cup race, considering I have to work a full shift tomorrow, so that way I'm not going to be as tired during the course of the stream because I won't have to run the full race. So I'll probably start it today and then finish it tomorrow. Because I did end up testing the save game theory. I just have to save the game, make sure that I still back out before I end up turning the PS2 off, and picks right back up where I was on the season. I had to create a random custom schedule season to kind of test it out, and then I ran a short race at Bristol, which was 20 laps. So that will definitely be what we'll do there. Make sure what's off. I don't know what you mean by that. PS2, well, duh. Not gonna leave it on all the way through the night. The game will probably freeze up or something by then. Or it'd overheat on me. Then I'd have to get a new PS2. That wouldn't be very fun. Then we'd have to pause the gaming stuff on the channel for a bit until I get the new one in the mail. At least I'd have the memory card where I could kind of pick up where I left off. In the event that I would have to get a new one. But ever since I bought the refurbished PS2, it's the same one that I've had. And I've had this thing for 4 years now. So, well, it'll be 4 years in either August or September. Runs like a champ. All the races we've done on the channel over that time frame. And just me playing on it with other games that I have too, and it still runs smooth, like perfect. It's outstood its warranty. Dale Jr. is currently in 6th. We'll have to see where he cycles when we get through the green flag pit stops, whenever they end up happening. We have to get to lap 63 to ensure that we're going to make this thing a one stop before we get to halfway out of gas. So if we get halfway out of fuel before lap 62, 63, it's going to be a 2-stop race. So far, so good. Which we went about 80 laps on a 1-mile oval in the Cup Series, though, at Dover. Obviously, the Busch cars don't have quite as long of a fuel window either. That's why I feel like it's going to end up being a 2-stop race. I could see going about 100 laps, maybe. 90 to 100. Oh, I purposely stayed to the outside there. I was scared that that car that I was trying to pass was going to kind of close me off. I cut him so quick that I couldn't get down to the bottom. If I would have tried to make that aggressive maneuver to get to the inside, it probably would have plowed into the back of him. Slight wall scrape, not going to hurt the car. Yeah, there it is. Halfway out of gas, lap 45. All right, so. How funny would it be if I had to restart? That wouldn't be funny at all. Because then I'd be forking over a few $100s just to get a new PS2. That'd hurt my wallet. And my pride. Yeah, I'll probably end up pitting a lap or two before lap 90, but definitely a 2-stop race. Now, if we were on like a 1.5-mile track, I'd probably take the risk of trying to short pit a bit and kind of split it like 85, 85, and 80. The problem with doing that here, it's such a short racetrack that I would lose too much time at the event that a caution would come out after I pit already. Last thing I want to do is trap myself a lap down, because then I'm going to have a problem trying to finish 15th or better. If I did that. Because even if I don't win the race, again, big picture is we got to get a top 15. Well, technically it's 16th or better now because I've already led laps. So I've got to finish 16th or better to win the championship tonight. Like Crazy Taxi 3. I've never even heard of that game. Is that a console game? Next question is that an older game? I would assume it probably is because I've never heard of it. So the answer would be new. No, like I said, I pretty much only played sports games growing up. I remember trying to play Call of Duty like 2 different times. That didn't work out very well for me. That was when I was really young still. I don't even think I was in high school yet. Probably like middle school days. I think I tried to play Fortnite once when I was in high school when that first came out. basically cheated my way into a second, finishing second, not knowing what I was doing, just hiding the whole time. Let everybody else do the dirty work. So my buddy's like, no way you're going to win this thing on your first try. And I came close. I didn't know what I was doing. Dale Jr.'s up to second. He got there pretty quick. We've lapped a lot of cars already. Oh! Don't wreck him, don't wreck him. Jeff Burton checked up big time. Really, that whole line of cars checked up big time off of turn 2. Running right into the back of Jeff, and about turned him on the back straightaway. That probably should have been a caution. I'm glad it wasn't. But it should have been a yellow. We got about half the field a lap down. Casey Mears is in 23rd. Such a massive run off turn 2 on these guys. Not as much off of turn 4. Still good on that end of the track, but off of turn 2. Just insane. It's like they're speed glitching, but in my favor. Usually it's the other way around when we have speed glitches. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they're definitely speed glitching. Just got hit in the right rear. It's mainly in turns 1 and 2. 3 and 4 isn't bad at all. They're competitive enough that I don't have to worry about that happening. Basically, I just gotta hope that I don't end up getting turned from behind. Hot Wheels Stunt Track Challenge game. I think I had a Hot Wheels game, but I couldn't tell you what the name of it was. I didn't play it very much. If I did, I'm pretty sure it was a Hot Wheels game. I definitely don't remember it enough to know what the title of it was, though. A lot of smoke up in turns 1 and 2. I want to know if I've lapped up through the 16th place cars so far. Got to be close. It's Paul Menard. Now Menard's going to end up losing a lap. Clear him down the back straight. Quarter of a tank of gas left, lap 67. Menard's at 13, so there's only 12 cars on the lead lap. Marcus Ambrose is the last of which. This is insane that on the first fuel run I have a 12-second lead. We've been gone from the word go. Didn't even have to qualify on the pole to lead these first 71 laps. Jam on the brakes quite a bit to keep it off of J.J. Ailey at the quick closing rate getting into turn 3. The tires have fallen off quite a bit, but they're falling off for everybody else too, because that last lap I ran was a second and a half slower than the fastest lap of the day, which was a 20.881. Still keeping up on the long run speed. Some of that bad lap was jamming on the brakes to keep it off of Yaley in the one car. Then I picked up about 7/10 from the lap before. Still 8/10 off with the fastest lap there. So 11 cars on the lead lap, and we have to finish 16th or better to win the championship. It'd be 17th or better once I clinch the most laps led, which with leading these first 75 laps, I don't think it's going to be far into the second half of the race at the rate we're going right now to be able to clinch that. I don't see why we'll lose the lead after we cycle off a pit road knowing we're 12 seconds ahead of the field. I get we'll probably have a speed glitch, but if they make up 12 seconds on me, that's ridiculous. The good news is I now have the speed to pull back away from them again. Still be unfortunate to give up that much time, though. For no real reason as to why I would lose that time to begin with. It was a really low exit to the corner. Trying to get by this guy. Definitely going to be a 4-tire stop. Obviously no adjustments. I don't know why you would even look to make an adjustment when you're speeding the field as badly as we are. I feel like SVG at Mexico City. It's crushing them. Giving them no hope. Finally catching up to the 11th place car of David Reagan. John Wood, I think, is in 10th up ahead. He is also the next car to catch after the 6th. Should be able to make this pass in turns 3 and 4. All clear. 13-second lead in the first fuel run of the race, and we've lapped into the top 10, or at least only 10 cars. They're currently on the lead lap. It's utter domination tonight for Martin Truex Jr. at Richmond. Fuel light's just getting to the point where it's flashing. I'll go a couple more laps yet. Nobody's pitted at this point. Now some of the leaders are on their way in. Trying to lead every lap. So again, we'll stay out. We stay out this time by as well. And we'll pit at lap 89. Lap the whole field, so we're the last car that has to hit pit road now. Might be some lappers that haven't pit yet, but that would be about it. Sure, we get to the bottom of the racetrack so we can pit. This guy blew right around me, and then he's going to fuel. First stop of the day. Clutch it, no brake. Yeah, we're good. Probably gave up a little bit of time. We'll see how much to be exact. We were 13 seconds ahead before the pit stop started. Still led every lap though as we cycle out in the lead. Looking at just over 8 seconds ahead at lap 91. Well, now it's a little less than that. Okay, about 8 seconds. Once we picked our time back up off turn 2. So 8.5 second lead. Lost about, what, 4.5 seconds? Pitting about 4 laps after the first group of cars. We had quite a bit of fall off. I mean, that makes sense because I was running over a second slower a lap there at the end of the run. So I don't know so much of it being a glitch as much as it was we just gave up that much time mathematically by staying out as long as we did. But Dale Jr. is still in second. He has not led a lap yet. We've been able to lead every lap. And again, we only have to finish 16th or better to win the championship. 17th or better if I can clinch the most laps led, which we'll be able to do on this fuel run. And we might even be able to do it right at halfway because nobody else has led. Other teammate Paul Menard's in 20th. He's struggling today. He's kind of struggled the last few races, though, because he was third in points for a while behind me and Dale Jr. And he's fallen back to fifth in points all of a sudden. I did notice a couple laps into this fuel run with the fresh tires, I put down my fastest lap of the race, which was a 20.814. And obviously we had clean air at the very start. And I didn't make any adjustments. So it's just a lot more grip level that I have to be able to put down as good of a lap as I did. There we go, picked up again. 20.659. Track is just overall probably getting a bit quicker. So we're getting rubbered in. Getting more confident in my ability to drive the car, knowing that we have 97 laps and we're getting in such a rhythm. Versus the opening laps of the race. Just kind of feeling it out, seeing what we've got. Especially post-practice and qualifying adjustments. Off him out of the way. That guy was holding me up. I didn't want to pass him on the outside, but he was blocking the bottom. And by the time I tried the over-under move, I kind of got into his left rear. See, he was more slowing down immensely in the middle of the corner. Right where I was trying to pick the throttle back up, he was still out of it. 100 laps in. Oh, you're saying to, like, not use any brake at all? I don't think I'm going to be able to save enough fuel to make it a one stop that way. There's no way. We were, what, 30-something laps short? The older EA games, I was able to make it on one stop at Richmond, but on this game in particular, the fuel runs aren't as long. Every track we go to, I'm pitting before what I would have, say, on NASCAR 07, which we just played before NASCAR 08. Sleeping in the closet, what the hell? You tie it up? Do you need help? You can't sleep on the couch or something? That's where an air mattress would come in handy. David Stremme blowing an engine. Should be able to make it to pit road this time. I believe he's the first car out of the race. So it took over 100 laps before somebody dropped out. I assume we'll probably have at least 1 to 2 more engine failures before we get to the finish. Yeah, nobody was out up until then. He was running at 22nd, a lap down already. He was about to lose a second lap. Right when he pulled out of line a couple cars ahead of us. Pass McMurray on the outside. There we go. Oh, he just blew an engine right in front of us. Oh my gosh. Well, that was out of pure randomness. My goodness. I mean, I was looking to try to pass him, and then he just blew up. Got piled into by David Reagan. I tried to keep the car pinned down to the bottom of the track, but the left rear corner panel's kind of still sticking out in the inside line. Wow. Well, we had such a perfect race going up until then. I led every lap to lap 111, and now we're going to have to pit. That was a gnarly hit. Like I said already, though, that was at just pure randomness. Hopefully we still have the speed in the race car. Even in a race going so easy, something like that happens. David Reagan suffered an engine failure. I'm surprised I didn't blow up, honestly. I thought that I'd DNF'd after he hit me. Oh, I didn't mean to pit for tires there. Whoops. This is causing the accident. It's all right. I mean, we have 2 sets left. We were the fastest car in the race anyway, so let's see what we can do here. See, nobody can make it upfield to the end, so everybody else stayed out.
Nobody else decided to come in.
Well, Dale Jr. leads now. We're enough cars a lap down. We're not going to be that far off the lead. 5th place, because there were only 5 cars on the lead lap when the caution came out. So we're still in a good spot. We'll see if we get any debris cautions following that incident. See how quickly we can get back into the lead, too. David Reagan's still in. He scored 9th right now, a lap down. There he is up there at the front of this line. Well, not going to be going wire to wire in our first Busch race. Yeah, we have 2 sets left, and we only have to pit 1 more time, so we're plenty good on tires. Is that Casey Kane that was leading there then? Oh, boy. Sorry, David. Well, it's nice to know we still have the speed in the race car. Good thing it's a short track, so it wasn't going to hurt our top end speed much, having as much damage as we do. Well, all right. I don't know how much more damage this car can take, even with repairing as much as I could have on pit road. I wasn't going to fully repair everything, especially with the amount of damage that I did have. So we're going to have to be mindful of that and try not to make too much more contact the rest of the race, because the last thing I want to do is DNF and then we end up running another race because I'm not clinching the championship. Sydney, was that the guy I hit? Happened so fast I didn't even know what number it was. Go figure, I had to be the car right behind him. Couldn't be anybody else. That's all right. We got to the lead quickly. So 2 cars are out. Still the first half of the race. A lot of action to go. I'm not sure if anybody piled into David Reagan after he hit us. When I just passed his car, it didn't really look like he had a lot of damage. If we were to see a debris caution, I'd imagine it'd be from him, considering the other guy was already out of the race because he was blowing up. And then I came in and repaired my damage. Well, we had about a 14-second lead when that happened. Doing good. Well, Dale Jr. was able to get 5 bonus points for leading on the restart. And under caution. Once I pitted. Those are the only laps I haven't led the whole race. So we should still end up clinching the most laps led pretty soon. I'd say in the next 10 to 15 laps at the very most. As long as we don't lose the lead again. Which at least there's no other lap cars directly in front of us. NHL regular season schedule released today. Yeah, so just 5 laps past halfway, we already clinched the most laps led. So now a 17th place finish or better will clinch ourselves the championship here today with Martin Truex Jr., which by the end of the race will be officially 7 races early. So when we do our second season, which will be a custom schedule season, again, it will be the modern playoff format. And it will be a more condensed schedule. So instead of 35 races, we'll have 25 for the Busch Series, 20 for trucks instead of 25, and 30 for Cup instead of 36. So try to make it a little bit more difficult on myself, because we absolutely dominated both the truck and the Busch Series seasons. Cup, we're about to start the chase as the #1 seed. A little bit more competitive there, but 26 races ran. We've won 11 of them for the Cup Series. So we got another car blowing up. Another fantasy driver, I believe. It's like the 117 car. I am going to have to get on a spreadsheet as soon as this stream's over so I can get all those polls collected together. I want to try to randomize the actual polls themselves a little bit more than what I would have before. Just kind of put some random drivers in there. Instead of just going by numerical order or going by affiliation of what team they race on. Home openers against Montreal. The Canadiens. Should be in Carolina when I live there. As long as they don't play there super early in the season. Like October, most of November. In that case, that means I'd have to get to a game early in the season before I move. Which I might end up doing anyway. I mean, I'll always be back as long as I have family living here. I know my parents have mentioned about wanting to move down to Tennessee in the future, and they're planning within the next few years to go down there, so I know at least for the next couple years I'll definitely be visiting, but my sister still lives here. I think she plans on just living around this area her whole life, so probably end up catching up with her. But if my parents end up moving, and then there's a good chance my grandpa's going to just end up moving in with them when that all happens. So if they all end up moving down to Tennessee within the next few years, I'm probably not going to be coming back here very often. Like, it's going to be, you know, I was looking at kind of like an every 3 to 4 month kind of deal before, but now it's going to be like a once or twice a year kind of deal. I'm not going to have much more family living up here anymore. We're all kind of going our separate ways. How come I don't want to stay in Ohio? I feel like I'm just... There's a ceiling here for where I live that I don't think I'm really going to be able to surpass. I feel like I'm already there. I've always wanted to still work within the sport of NASCAR, and I feel if I put myself in the Charlotte region, you know, continue to work on the live commentary streams as hard as I've been doing with this YouTube channel and just kind of help get my voice out there. Look for, you know, a side hustle while I'm down there when it comes to, you know, commentating at like a local racetrack, knowing that I'm in the Charlotte region, in the North Carolina region. There's more of a chance I feel like I can get noticed by someone at NASCAR and doing that there versus doing something like that here. Like here, if I were to stay in Ohio, I'd pretty much just be kind of doing what I'm doing right now. I'd be working in a warehouse somewhere for the rest of my life, and I just really don't want to do that. You know, I don't really have many friends that live up here, so I'm not really going to be missing out on that. I don't have any kids. I'm single, so all the cards are lining up for me to, you know, go do that thing that I've always wanted to do. Because if I don't basically chase my dreams now, and then something else ends up, you know, I try to live my life here essentially and stick through it. That time and that window will eventually end up passing me by, and I don't want to know the what ifs if I'm basically just going to be living how I am now for eternity, or at least until the end of time. So yeah, It's a business decision. It's not just a business decision, but just, like I said, I just don't think that there's really anything that I can achieve in life, at least for me, still living where I'm at. So, be making the move. It honestly doesn't feel scary. Like, the very few people that I've ever talked to about it, I don't have literally any worries about doing this and basically going my own way. Like, I'll be fine. And I've been down there a couple of times before, too, so I know the area fairly well. I mean, not as well as if I would have lived there. You know, I've only visited, 3-4 days at a time a couple times I've been down there, but especially with the town that I do plan on moving to specifically, I've been there a couple of times. I think I stayed there the one time I went. So, yeah, I got it all mapped out. I don't know what the annual trip to Michigan International Speedway is going to look like anymore. I know for the first couple of years we'll still end up going, but my parents end up moving down south. That's like a vast majority, taking my grandpa with me, of the people that go to MIS for my family every year. That's about half, if not a little over half, the people that we usually end up having at the track for that weekend anyway. So, yeah, I don't know. And that long streak is kind of hanging in the balance, or been at the last 10 races that they've had fans there for. See how much longer that streak's going to hold on for. Scorpion Pitbull, thanks for tuning in. I moved to Michigan, I'll be close to the track. I mean, I'm already close to the track. That would have been like the second ideal place that I would have ever wanted to move, would be closer to Detroit, because like all my favorite sports teams are up there. But that would literally be the only reason. Like, there wouldn't be anything for, career-wise that would be the reason why I'd want to live there. And I'm far more of a race fan and a racer at heart, with just racing growing up and stuff. That far more interests me in that path of wanting to do something with that the rest of my life than just like go to more baseball games throughout the year than what I already do or something. Like, it doesn't seem very logical in my eyes. Then the winters will be just a little bit colder than what they are, just because I'm moving another little bit more up north. It wouldn't be that much different. I'd probably get a little bit more snow. But, yeah, that's all right. It'll be way warmer in Charlotte. I have to deal with the winters I've dealt with my whole life. That'll be nice. There's been a few other NASCAR YouTubers that have moved down to Charlotte within the last year or two as well. That you guys probably watch their stuff way more than I do, but I know of them either making the move or have already made the move there. So that also kind of helps with my decision, too, of knowing that, like, all right, we've got other people doing the same thing here. I feel like I need to hop on this. I'm still young. Like I said, I want to do what I'm doing right now. Is it fully good enough? So just trying to take those next steps. $19 likes on the stream. Appreciate that, everybody. Quite a few for a Busch race stream. Races aren't as long. We already only have about 90 laps to go. Everybody's going to have to pit one more time. And from when I last pitted during the only caution of the race that we've had, I can go further on fuel than everybody else. but nobody's good to the finish. It's a one-stop race for everybody. I'm not going to have to pit one less time either. Get ran into. Thought on what? About your parents being close to Daytona? I know, cool, I guess. It's not. Is it like from where they live or where they're traveling currently? You know, you mentioned that they live close to Atlanta. Probably a median point between the two tracks. I'm not going to lie, with only having the Cup Series left, it's going to be really tough to do with me working all these hours. I've been doing a lot more Cup races as of late to try to catch up, but there's going to be some 500-mile races that I'm going to end up having to do. And either that or I'm going to have to hope that they'll land on like a Thursday or something. And then I can just like postpone it one day and just take one day off. Because those are going to be really tough for me to do Tuesday through Thursday specifically. There's quite a few 500-mile races in the chase, too. Talladega, Charlotte, Atlanta, Texas. Martinsville races 500 laps, so that'll probably take a minute, too. Even though it's not 500 miles per se. That's five races that are going to be pretty long. Mid-race save is useful. Yeah, I'm glad it works. I'm glad I tested it out before, because I might end up utilizing that with those 500-mile races. I'm not going to lie. Like, if it does fall on a Wednesday where I don't want to take 2 nights off in a row, I might just start it on a Wednesday and finish it on a Thursday. I know you guys probably won't like that much, but I'm sorry, I need to sleep at night. So that way, I'm not going to bed at like 9:30 on a work night when I have to get up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. And that's from getting home as early as I can and grabbing something to eat real quick, so that way I can hop on and do it. It's just more efficient this way. I'll try not to do that too much, but that would be the warning sign of good chance I'll probably end up doing it at some point. Yeah, screw 1,000 laps at Martinsville. No, thank you. 500's enough. That's even quite a bit. It's a good 3-hour haul. The 500 lap races at Bristol in the video games aren't too bad for me. So you can usually get those in less than 3 hours. Lap times are much quicker than what they are at Martinsville. But the Martinsville races, they seem to drag on a little bit more. I think there's a tendency for more cautions a lot, too. So that kind of drags the race pace down a bit. Probably going to have some speed glitches going on with cars hitting pit road right now. We just started green flag pit stops for everybody that's not myself. Only a couple of them are in right now. You know, a couple more coming in currently on this lap. We're going to have a whole slew of them coming in here before long. These cars exiting pit road underneath us. We give plenty of room getting into turn 3. I think I cleared him on corner exit. Oh yeah, easily. Backed way up. Get to the bottom. Oh! Drilled me. Watch me up into Pullman Hard. Or sorry, Juan Pablo Montoya. I was doing that last night. I was getting those two mixed up a lot too. Saw a couple guys going side by side coming out of the pits. Surprised they didn't wreck each other. We had a caution right now. That's going to trap a lot of these guys a lap down. We're not going to have to go too much longer if we stretch this full fuel run out all the way, which is what I planned on doing. I might be able to make it to lap 200, but that would even be pushing it. About a, what, 5-second lead? 4.5 to 5 seconds ahead. That was before they pitted, so they're probably going to be picking up quite a bit of time on me because now they have a tire advantage. Although I have the fastest car in the field, so maybe it's just going to be more even than anything. Never had a speed glitch. Well, as long as nobody ends up late in the race blowing an engine right in front of us and doing what happened to us right around lap 100, or we get involved in an incident, have to hit pit road to repair damage, I don't see a scenario where we'll end up losing this thing. Because even if we end up getting a restart with where we're going to end up pitting, we're going to have fresher tires than everybody else behind us. So we're in a great stop on strategy. Great spot, excuse me, on strategy. I still have a set of tires left too, so if I really wanted to pit again, I could, because there's only going to be a few cars on the lead lap. There were 6 cars on the lead lap on the last restart. I believe Jamie McMurray was a free pass car in 6th, and it might have even caught lap 10 before pit stop started. Had a dream 2 days ago where Indy cars were in Martinsville. Yeah, it's a little too small, I think. The flatness of the racetrack would work out well, but that's why a track like Milwaukee, they race that real well. Gateway needs to be like a mile plus. Just want to be an open wheel. And you got cars flipping at Iowa, for Pete's sake. It doesn't take much to get those cars to turn over. That's a short track. If you're just tuning in for the first time and wondering why I'm a lap ahead of everybody, we're on a different pit cycle. So we're going to end up having to hit pit road at some point before the end of the race. Everybody else is good on fuel to the finish. We'll have a fresh tire advantage after we pit. So even if I end up losing the lead, I should be able to drive back and get to them. I would like to think for the most part I should be able to just be the leader anyway. I don't think we'll lose the lead. Like I said, if we do, we'll definitely have the speed to get back up here and catch them. And we'll have one set of tires left the rest of the way yet. So that should be pretty good to the end also. I think if we end up catching a caution for the second time tonight, I'll just end up pitting again anyway. We've already clinched the most laps led. Dale Jr.'s already led laps, so as far as finishing 17th or better to win the championship goes, that's still the case. Gonna pit this time. No adjustments. Final stop. Final stop, probably of the season, as we should clinch the title, and Mark Truex Jr. will get his 3rd career championship in the NASCAR Busch Series. As long as we don't DNF at this point, pretty much, because I don't see us falling all the way back to 17th. I think the guys there are going to end up being 2 laps down and even further back, because again, we're under 10 cars on the lead lap. First green flag run went just over 100 laps, and we haven't had a caution since, so we're closing in on about another 100 lap green flag run. Dale Jr. just got in front of us, so I did lose the lead coming out of the pits. Kevin Conway's in 2nd here. Should be able to get by him in 3 and 4. We're about a second off the lead. And we've got about 25 to 30 lap pressure tires, so let's let her rip. I'll tell you you what, though. Dale Jr. is doing about as good as he could have to try to keep the championship hope alive for at least another race, which, again, if you look up at the top of the screen, it wasn't really going to have a real shot at coming back into this one. Average finish was a 2.9 on the season for Truex. We've only finished outside the top 10 3 times. It's the same amount of races I finished outside the top 5 in. I've had either a top 5 or just outside the top 10. We've been top 20 every race. No DNFs this season. We had 1 in the Truck Series. We've had 2 in the Cup Series. But none on the Busch Series side of things. Going for win number 18 today of what is only the 28th race of the season. Here's a run after Dale Jr. Underneath him into the first turn. Going to get by him really easily. Lap car is going to cross him over as well and get to the inside, kind of followed our line. So Martin Truex Jr. done a pretty good job so far today. Definitely going to end up leading more laps than I did in the first race that we won here earlier in the season, which was 2:03. It's definitely going to be up over 2:30 if we lead all the way to the finish. And 20 likes on the stream. Thank you for everybody hitting that like button. For everybody watching right now, I will end up starting the driver polls tonight, and I'll keep those up for 24-hour blocks. So what I'll do, essentially, I'll have the poll open as soon as I end up obviously creating them. You guys can vote for who I'm going to race as in our next season. On NASCAR 08, I'm doing a custom schedule season with the modern playoff format across all 3 series. We've still got to do the chase for the Cup Series, so I haven't started that yet. We've got 10 races to go. And that's with the 2007 points format, 2007 schedule. So our next race is at New Hampshire, but custom schedule season, we'll have the fantasy road courses, all that good stuff. Try to make it as difficult on myself as possible. All the playoff races are literally all the tracks I did not win at the first go-around. Try to make it as difficult for myself as possible. And they're shorter seasons, so I'm not going to be able to kind of go in there with a lot of playoff points. Because, for instance, in the Cup Series, we're only going to have 20 races in the regular season. Rather than 26, there's no stage racing, so I can't get playoff points there either. Solely based off of wins. And you guys get to pick who I'm racing as. So with the driver ranking system in this game, or rating system that is, I end up running as somebody poor, I might have to win to try to have a shot at the championship. It could make things more difficult on us. We were in the best equipment for the truck and the Busch Series. And again, we were in about B-tier equipment for the Cup side. Still put together a really solid Cup season to this point. 11 wins in 26 races there. This will be 18 wins in 28 races for the Busch Series. And then the trucks, we won 16 races out of 20 that we ran to clinch the title. No, I'm keeping track of points myself. I'll be doing the modern points format. Because there's 43 cars and there isn't 43 cars nowadays, I would just do 1 point per position, so a win would actually get me 43 for a single race instead of 40. That would be the only different thing that I'll end up doing with it. Well, as far as trying to finish 17th or better to win the championship tonight, I mean, Dale Jr., that would have been if he would have won the race and led the most laps. If I wasn't in the race, he probably would have. Because he's running in second. And he was able to lead the few laps that I didn't. There might have been somebody else who led. I think Casey Kane led on the one restart that we had as well. And I'm not sure if anybody else might have led in that transition of Kane getting by Dale Jr. initially on that said restart. We're probably looking at only 3 different drivers who have led. "30 laps to go this time by." I will do the simulation of the rest of the season on this stream so we can see who won the last, 7 races of the year and where all the drivers ended up ranking in points. Got the top 10 scrolling across the screen right now, but that'll obviously change a little bit with 7 races to go still. And it's a pretty tight battle, really, amongst, 3rd through 10th for the most part. I don't think the Cup guys run every race, and I think that's why we have such a big lead in this series as well as the trucks. Although the trucks don't have any Cup guys, so that's a little bit different. But that side of things is a little bit different because there's very few drivers that are actually in the truck series in this game that aren't fantasy drivers. Why am I halfway out of fuel already? Did I not get the car full when I came in? I did the first 2 times we pitted, so I don't know why I wouldn't have gotten the car full that time. Hang on a second here. I mean, we literally just pitted 20 laps ago. Oh my gosh. We only put a half a tank of gas in the thing. Oh my goodness. I hope we have enough to the finish. That's like the 3rd time I've done that on this game. Close. I think I'm going to be short because I hit it with, 50, 51 to go? Yeah, I'm going to be short. You have got to be kidding me. We're going to throw away a win in the last race of the season. I think I should be able to finish 17th still. Could you imagine? Wow. I'm really confused at this one. Like, I've been confused the first couple of times that this has happened to me. But I'm really confused now because we took a full tank of gas the first 2 times we pitted. Why wasn't it a full tank that time? Like, the default setting, I don't think, was 1 can the whole race. And if it was, then I just caught it and mindlessly changed it. I mean, there's no sense of me saving. I'm going to be way short. I mean, I'm talking like 5 to 10 laps short. We need a caution. We just handed this thing to Dale Jr., assuming he holds on. Well, we stay out as long as we can. I'm going to end up leading like 320 to 300, or sorry, 220 to 230 out of 250, and we're not going to win this thing. Unless we catch a caution. And then I'm forced to pit, which I would only cycle back to 5th. McMurray's the first car lap down in 6th. We do have one set of tires left. It's unbelievable. I just hope we still finish 17th, which we should be able to. We're 2 laps ahead of Paul Menard in 17th. I'll probably take tires just to make sure that if I get past, I can try to get a couple spots back, but hopefully we just catch a caution before then. Bail myself out. If I remember correctly, I think the last time this happened to me, we did catch a caution and I did get bailed out. I forget where that was at, but I'm pretty sure that that happened. So I didn't end up losing the race. Hopefully that happens again. But I don't know if lightning's going to strike twice. I think it was at Talladega for the truck series or something like that before. Or no, that was the one that I lost when I ran out of gas. That's right. Well, that was different. I got gas. Apparently I only filled up a half a tank. Because when I pitted, it was about empty. Got 1/8 of a tank of fuel left. Yeah, I'm going to be about 10 laps short. There's no sense in me backing off trying to save with only a 3.5 second lead. We were never going to extend it that far. I mean, we need a caution like right now. We've only had one the whole race. There wasn't really anybody caught up in that incident to have any sort of debris. We really haven't seen any near incidences the whole race otherwise. There was one instance where I remember seeing smoke in one of the turns. Like there was a near crash. And that's it. This whole race. Then we saw the other one take place. I might still end up falling off the lead lap. All right, 14 to go. Where's the caution? How did this happen? I haven't really pulled away on this run like I was earlier in the race either. Even with the fresher tires. And a lighter fuel load. This is not going to happen again. And I probably said that the last time, but I think at the start of every race, I'm going to literally pause it and go into the pit options. It sucks that that's what I have to do. Like, I don't understand why it isn't just an option already for me to take a full tank. And like I said, I thought it did because we pitted 2 times already in the race before that. Why was that time so different? Fuel lights flashing, 9 laps to go. Probably only go a couple more. Then we have to pit. Splash and go could keep us on the lead lap. Then we could take our tires under a late caution. Chase Briscoe couldn't even do this. There's no way to save like 6 to 7 laps under green with as few laps as we had left by the time I realized that it was short. There was like 25 laps to go. I wasn't going to be able to save that much gas that soon. Even over the course of a full run, that would have been so difficult. Try to go one more. Might as well. Come on, caution. Right now, nothing. 6 laps to go. I'm going to pit this time. Save as much time as we can. We should be able to clinch the championship still. It sucks I threw a win away, but big picture here, we clinched the title. Should. No tires. See, now it comes up full tank. What happened? Like, why did it not do that on the last stop, but every other pit stop? I don't understand. That is so weird. And then, of course, they fumble, splash and go, and he still struggles. Get the fuel can in. Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. Guess you got to stay on this lead lap just in case a caution comes out. Oh, dang it. There go the leaders. Well, it's not going to matter. We're in 6th. Still got fresher tires than everybody else. Well, we just handed the win to Dale Jr., but the good news is we're still going to finish 17th or better and win the championship. Could you imagine if that cost me winning the championship tonight, though? It cost us a race win, so Dale, you're welcome. I'm not super embarrassed by it, only because we're going to get the title anyway. But, man, if that would have costed me that would have sucked if I would have had to run another race because of what just happened. I'm over it. I'm going to make damn sure that's not going to happen again. White flag, I believe, for Dale Jr. at the line. We're going to end up finishing a lap down. Still going to get a top 10. My average finish is probably going to... Oh, this passed for 5th on the final lap. I didn't realize Kevin Conway fell off the lead lap. There we go. I got 1 spot back, top 5. Oh, man. Oh, Conway wasn't a spot. Somebody drop a motor? I think somebody dropped a motor. Who was in the top 5 before that? Oh, it was me, and I think I passed McMurray on the last lap. Because there was 5 cars while I was on the lead lap, so then it dropped to 4 laps. Well, look at that. We led 236 out of 5, or almost said 500 laps. 236 out of 250. And I still lost because of the frickin' fuel mistake. I can't believe that that happened. I only put a half a tank of gas in it on the final run. It's crazy. I didn't even realize that until about 25 laps to go. I just happened to look down at the fuel light, and I was like, why are we halfway out of gas already? That's not good. And I went to a quarter tank out of gas within a couple laps after that. Unbelievable. Dale Jr. gets handed the win from one DEI car to another. 2nd win of the season for him. But, yeah, I'm still befuddled at how that happened. But, like I said, we already clinched the championship still. 3rd career title for Martin Truex Jr. in the NASCAR Busch Series. We'll simulate the last 7 races on stream to see who else wins in these final races of the year. But as far as tonight's race goes, Dale Jr. with the win from the pole. Kevin Conway, 2nd. Casey Kane, 3rd. Matt Kenseth, 4th. We led 236 out of 250. Finished in 5th. 1 lap down. Only 4 cars finished on the lead lap. Again, 1 second margin of victory there for Dale Jr. 6 lead changes, 1 caution, 118.23 mile per hour average race speed, 1 hour 35 minutes, 9 seconds total time in the race. 6th through 10th, we had Jamie McMurray 6th, Juan Pablo Montoya 7th, Clint Boyer 8th, David Reagan 9th, Danny O'Quinn Jr. rounding out the top 10. Our other teammate Paul Menard finished 2 laps down in 18th. And we didn't have many DNFs today. Only 3 of them. David Stremme, Sydney, and Velotti. A couple of fantasy drivers there. On to simulation. And I'll get those driver polls up as soon as I can. I got to create them, obviously, first on a spreadsheet, and then I'll get them uploaded. So I would imagine within the next half hour or so, I'll end up having them on the channel. Game's on mute. Fifth was enough. Dale Jr. did his job, though. Tonight, maybe not the rest of the season before that. All right, so I'm going to keep track of this, and then I'll read off all the end-of-season stats when we do get there. Earnhardt Jr. and finished 5th. 236 laps led. That might have been the most laps led in a single race this season for me, too. No, never mind. I led 273 out of 300 at Toyota Raceway. Dang. Just the percentage of laps led alone and didn't get the win. All right. So Biffle wins at Dover. Kansas winner, Greg Biffle again. Let's go, Biff. He waited an awfully long time to get his first 2 wins of the season. And Charlotte. Greg Biffle. Is Greg Biffle going to win all these races? He's now got the 3rd most wins on the year just in the last 3 races alone. Is it going to be Biffle? Casey Kane. I was waiting on it. I was waiting on it. Where'd Biffle even finish? 6th. Making a push for the top 10 in points late in the year. First win of the season for Casey Kane. I have to edit my laps led real quick before I forget. 236. Just under 3,000 laps led on the season. I had 2,938 laps led. 25 top 10s, 25 top 5s, 17 wins. And my average finish was a 2.9 coming into tonight. I want to see if it jumps back to 3.0 with finishing 5th. It did. Dang it. I blew a sub 3.0 average finish. Right at 3. 3.0 flat. Even if I would have finished 4th, I still would have saved a 2.9. All right. Texas simulation. Biffle. Give me Biffle. Greg Biffle, let's go. Is he just going to win all the non-fantasy tracks that we simulate? which is all but one race. That's hilarious. He's tied for the second most wins on the year now. Phoenix, give me the Biff. Give me the Biff. Let's go, Greg. I'm convinced he wins every race that you simulate the Busch Series on this game that are on normal racetracks. He probably, well, no, he was running. Never mind. Yeah, because he finished 6th at Craftsman. That's insane. I want to talk about putting up video game numbers. Greg Biffle has won 5 of the last 6 races. Second most wins on the year, all coming in the last 7 races of the season. Because I didn't show up, essentially. And then Homestead to finish things out. Greg Biffle, of course. That's comical. All right. So I wasn't counting the lap sled of the simulated races again. So in 28 races, we had 25 top 5s, 25 top 10s, 17 wins, 2,938 lap sled, and a 3.0 average finish en route to our championship. Just insane. That's got to be the best average finish by far I've had in any series in any NASCAR video game that we've played. So obviously, again, we had the most wins with 17. Then Greg Biffle had 5. No, sorry, he had 6. He had 6 wins all in the last 7 races. He won 3 in a row, then finished 6th to Casey Kane, who won at Craftsman. Then he won 3 in a row again. Paul Menard had 4 wins on the season. Dale Earnhardt Jr. had 2 wins on the season. We saw his at Richmond tonight, his second. And then we had quite a few drivers with 1 win. Jeff Burton had 1 win. Denny Hamlin had 1 win. Casey Kane had 1 win. John Wood had 1 win. 1 win for Kevin Conway. And then a fantasy driver, Jack Campbell, had a win early in the season at Talladega. The one, kind of track style that would be fitting for a fantasy driver to end up winning there. So as you see, we did win the championship, which we clinched obviously tonight, 6,100 points total, just over 1,200 ahead of Dale Jr. in second. A 1-2 finish in points for DEI. Our other teammate Paul Menard finished in 5th. Greg Biffle moves up to 4th in points. He was trying to go for that runner-up. He wasn't even in the top 10. He was outside the top 10 in points coming into tonight's race at Richmond. And then the dude in the last 7 races of the season wins 6 out of 7 and then finished 6th in the other one he didn't win. And he climbs from outside the top 10 to 4th. I don't know exactly how far out of the top 10 he was. I wish I would have known that. I would not be shocked if he climbed from like 14th or 15th in points to 4th in those final 7. But yeah, what a drive. So Kenseth Biffle, 3rd, 4th. Again, Menard 5th. Then Clint Boyer 6th. Mike Wallace 7th. Case Kane 8th. Danny O'Quinn Jr. 9th. Todd Cleaver rounds out the top 10 in points. Kevin Conway, John Wood, who both had wins, were 11th to 12th. Hamlin had a win, was 14th. Jeff Burton had a win, was 16th in points. Where did Jack Campbell finish? He had that 1 win at Talladega. He finished 26th in points. Second highest of the fantasy drivers. I think it's the fantasy drivers in this game that don't run every race, and then the major, like all the actual drivers run every race, which in the old EA games we played before this for the Busch and Truck Series, it was the other way around. 59 cars started a race. Wow. Throughout the course of the season. All right, now that is going to wrap up tonight's stream. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Be sure to hit the like button again if you haven't done so yet. Subscribe for NASCAR content like this during the week, and then live commentary streams on the race weekends. Dover coming up this weekend for Xfinity and Cup action. We'll be live tomorrow. We'll start our chase on NASCAR 08 as we only have to wrap up the Cup Series season. So we're going into that as the #1 seed with Casey Kane at a track that I dominated at earlier in the season. One of my 11 wins in the first 26 races came at New Hampshire and actually led all 300 laps in that race. It's the only race on NASCAR 08 across any of these top 3 series where I led every single lap and got the win. So we'll see if I can do that again. And yeah, have a good rest of your night, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow for New Hampshire.